Hello guys, welcome to Yuvan GCSE tutor. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys about reciprocal functions. This is for Edexcel Further Pure 4 PM 1 spec. So I've prepared one question today. It's got up till part E, so 5 parts. It includes asymptotes, x the x and y intercepts, sketching the graph, um, and also a tangent question. So this was a question 9 in the 2023 summer regional paper. Um, and just keep in mind, guys, that you won't get these boxes on the graph in your exam. I just had to use a pair of axes, so I've just done this. But you won't get boxes. So let's get on with the question and start off with part A. So part A, guys, what we have to do is find out the equations of the asymptotes, the horizontal and the parallel to the x and y axis, or horizontal and vertical. So guys, what I'm just gonna do now is rewrite the equation to curve C so that the x's are at the front. So the first thing we have to do, we can find out either or first, but to find out the asymptotes, there there are two asymptotes, right? So the first thing we can do is equate this denominator to 0. So x plus 6 equals 0, and then you can get x equals minus 6. So that's the equation of one of the asymptotes, and now I'll just tell you which one it is, whether it's parallel to the x-axis or the y-axis. So if we draw the line x equals minus 6, it's going to look something like this. So it's parallel to the y-axis. So for part A2, x equals minus 6, that is the equation of the asymptote that's parallel to the y-axis. So now for the x-axis, obviously it's going to be y equal to something. To find the equation of the asymptote that's parallel to the x-axis, or the horizontal asymptote, what we have to do is divide the highest power of x's coefficient on the numerator by the highest power of x's coefficient on the denominator. So it's minus 2 divided by 1 equals minus 2. So y equals minus 2. So it's going to look something like this. So thank you guys, that was part A to this question. So guys, for part B, we need to find the x and y intercepts. So to find the x-intercept, let me just draw my axes again. To find the x-intercept, it's going to be somewhere along this line, this axis, right? So that means y equals 0. So the coordinates are going to be something, comma 0. And vice versa for the y-axis. It's going to be somewhere along this line. Therefore, the x-coordinate has to be 0. So it's going to be 0, comma something. So to find out, let's do the easier one first, the y-intercept. So to find out the y-intercept, obviously it's x equals 0, right? So we can just substitute 0 in the place of x and get our y value. So if we just put all of this into the calculator, you get a half. So when x is 0, y is a half. So the coordinates of the y-intercept are as such, 0, comma half. So now let's find out the coordinates of the x-intercept. So what we have to do is equate y to 0. 3 minus 2x, x plus 6. So this is also fairly straightforward. What we have to do is, so we can just multiply both sides by x plus 6 to get rid of this denominator, and that just means 0 equals 3 minus 2x. So 2x equals 3, x is 3 over 2. So the coordinates will be 3 over 2 comma 0. Thank you guys so much for watching. So guys, now what we have to do is sketching the graph. So the first thing we'll do is we'll draw our asymptotes. So excuse me. So the first thing we'll do is draw our asymptotes. So there's y equals minus 2 and x equals minus 6. So y equals minus 2. So guys, like I said, you guys won't have boxes in your exam. So you'll just have to draw it. You just have to draw the asymptote and then label it. Y equals minus 2. Sorry. Y equals minus 2. Then what you'll have to do is you'll also have to you can also label over here that this is the minus 2 y coordinate. So you'll have y equals minus 2. And you'll also have x equals minus 6, so that would be around 6 you will have here. I'm sorry that these lines are not straight. In your exam, make sure to use a ruler, please. You can say x equals minus 6, right? And this is minus 6. So guys, you can't just write minus 6 over here. You have to make sure to specify that this is x equals minus 6. So those were the asymptotes. Let's do the intercepts now. So for our x-intercept, it's 3 over 2 comma 0. So 3 over 2 is just 1.5, right? Yeah, 1.5. So that would be here. And then for our other intercept, it's half. So right here. But in your exam, guys, make sure just you space everything out so you can clearly show the intercepts. This is a bit compact. I'm so sorry. So what you now have to do is draw our curves. So what we need to do is, oh, and also make sure your asymptote lines are dotted. Now we just draw the curve like as such. Make sure it crosses through both the intercept and it never touches the asymptote like this. Then guys, make sure to draw the other side too. This one, we don't have any other more data, so just make sure it does not touch the asymptotes and you should be good. And this should secure you all 3 marks. Thank you guys so much for watching. And my mistake actually, this is 0 comma 1 over 2. Apologies about that, guys. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I even wrote it here. Sorry about that, guys. So let's move on to part D. Show that the gradient of the tangent to C is always negative. So guys, here what we have to do is differentiate to find the gradient function. So since it's like a algebraic fraction, what we have to use is the quotient rule, and I have added the quotient rule formula here. Or you can take a look at this. This is also the quotient rule formula. So you will be provided this in the exam, so you don't need to memorize it, but for product and chain rule you need to learn that. So what we have to do is the derivative of the numerator, which we call u, times the denominator minus the derivative of the denominator times the numerator. Okay, so let's do the first part first, which is the derivative of the numerator. So that will just be minus 2 times just the denominator subtracted by the derivative of the denominator, which will just be 1, times by just the numerator, and I just wrote that the other way. So, and then this will just be all over v squared, which is the denominator squared. So guys, if we just simplify this out, expand the brackets, we get minus 2x minus 12 minus 3x plus 2x. No, minus 3 plus 2x. Sorry guys, sorry. So these two obviously cancel, so you get minus 15 over x plus 6 squared. So now how do we prove to them that the gradient of the tangent will always be negative? The numerator is positive, the numerator is negative, right? The numerator is negative. The denominator will always be positive no matter what we substitute in there. Like for example, positive. So we substitute, because like any negative number squared will give you positive result, right? So like minus 6 squared is just 36. So a negative number divided by a positive number is always negative. So that's how we prove that the gradient of the tangent to C is always negative. That'll give us all 3 marks, guys. Make sure in show that questions like these you always give a conclusion. Simply doing the quotient rule will only give you 2 marks. The conclusion will secure you the final 3rd mark. So guys, let's move on to the next part. So guys, here we have a tangent to the curve. So what we have to do is find out what the y-intercept of the tangent is, which is k, and that is greater than 0. So the first thing we have to do is we know the gradient, which is minus 3 over 5. So we can just equate that to the gradient function. So x plus 6 squared is equal to minus 3 over 5. So now all we have to do is solve for x, right? So guys, what we do is cross multiply first. So 5 times minus 15 is minus 75 is equal to minus 3 times x plus 6 squared. So then divide everything by minus 3, you'll get 25 is equal to x plus 6 the whole square. So x squared, so if we expand out this brackets, you get x squared plus 12x plus 36 is 25. Then you get x squared plus 12x plus 11. So if we substitute this into a calculator, which I recommend you get the Casio FX991EX, which can solve polynomials, you'll get x equals minus 1, x equals minus 11. So then the next step is to substitute minus 1 and minus 11 into the original equation, like the function of the curve. So y equals 3 minus 2 times minus 1 over x, no sorry, x plus 6. Then once you do that, you get y equals 1. So 3 minus 2, yeah, you get y equals 1. So 1 equals minus 3 over 5 when x is minus 1, 3 over 5 minus 1 plus k. Then 1 equals 3 over 5 plus k. So therefore k equals 2 over 5. And that actually gave us our answer where k is greater than 0. If it hadn't, you can just substitute the minus 11. So y equals 3 over 5 minus 3 over 5 x plus 2 over 5. K is 2 over 5. So that'll give us all 5 marks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what topic I should do next for math, economics, science, English, and business. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.